Question number 4. How did you integrate technologies in this project? Pre-production. Throughout this project, I managed to integrate many technologies to help complete the final product. The script was written using a program Fade In that allowed me to easily format the script, worry more about the film rather than the format. After the script, the storyboard was hand-drawn to digitally scan using an HV printer. Once that was done, I used Excel to make a spreadsheet of the shots needed and what each shot would require. The same shot list was then color-coded in rainbow order. It determined which shots were more important, having a color higher up in the rainbow that needed to be recorded first. I would simply work down the rainbow, completing the shots, moving from character to character. The shots that had top priority were shots that occurred in the first part of the film. This was to help keep continuity, since it was going to be filmed out of order. This was then saved to my iPad Air 2 second generation because I could reference this on actual filming day instead of having a printed version and having changes done directly on the device. The film was recorded on a Canon EOS Rebel T6. This is because it had a manual option on the camera that allowed me to make the picture have a high ISO of 1000. This is important because I was going to raise the contrast and darken the image in post. Also, it was set high to make up for the low light that was on the dark set. The camera had a 75 to 300 millimeter lens. This was because it allowed me to get extreme zooms and allow myself to stand back as my actor moved around in the limited space. The light used was a 24-watt work lamp with the bulb replaced from a 1998 Corolla headlight, having more light intensity but still keeping it warm. It was hung up on the wall by two 2x4s. The audio was afterwards recorded on an Audio-Technica Pro 3U hooked up to the computer via USB. The program that I used to record and edit the audio was Audacity. Audacity allowed me to clean up the audio. With the program, the audio was denoised, equalized, and then the treble was boosted. For the radio effect, a personal plugin, Vinyl Spin Down, was used to allow to get the radio effect, scratches and pops. All footage was stored on an SD card and transferred to an 8GB USB. Same with audio. The footage was sequenced in Premiere Pro CC 2015. Very basic editing was done to the clips, such as cutting and splitting the clips to the parts that I needed. An adjustment layer was added and placed over the clips. All that was done to the images on this adjustment layer was to lower the contrast to -1 and increase the whites by 1. Also, I added the letterbox bars, simply because I thought they were visually appealing, and it also helped to give the overall opening a professional look. I know that they are accomplished normally by changing the resolution of the film, but due to a problem with the footage not allowing me to change the resolution, I had to place them in manually. The letterbox size was placed at 10% of the frame at the top and bottom. Also, an unsharp mask was added to style the film by having a very well-defined line while enhancing the noise in the video that gave it the effect of film grain to make it resemble as it was filmed on a film camera like all the horror films I researched. The titles were created within Premiere. The font was Old English and it had a black outline and a gradient of 2 tones of red. In and out points were added to make them fade in and out as the film progressed. The same font and colors were used for the title. Finally, the film was also exported from the same program. Photoshop CC 2015 was also used to create the movie posters. The clip of Scout turning around in the film, staring at the camera's directions, was exported and that very frame was used and cropped and pasted into a new layer in Photoshop. The font was Old English, same as the one used in the film. The colors were changed to a yellowish white due to the fact that the red gradient didn't stand out as well. Then lastly, the brush tool was then taken with an organic shape brush and the airbrush option turned all the way up, and many blotches of yellow and red were added to the image to add a bit of grime. Then it was exported as a PNG. The entire process was logged using Blogger, a Google app that allowed for an individual post for each step. This allowed me to stay organized and keep track of what I have done and what still needs to be accomplished. Research was all done online from a multitude of sources found on Google Scholar.